Yes, good morning, everyone. We're going to start with the next topic. So, the name of this chapter is Divisibility in Integral Domains. So, we have already seen divisibility in polynomial rings, right? So, in polynomials, we have seen division algorithm and the other corollaries and results related with it. We have also seen when do we call a polynomial to be irreducible or something like that. So now we will introduce the definitions and terms for integral domains particularly. So we have few definitions first to understand. So the first definition which we are going to talk about is associates. So we have an integral domain, so all these definitions are for an integral domain. So let D be an integral domain. Then two elements AB belongs to D are said to be associates if A is U times B, where U is a unit in D. That means if one element can be obtained from other by multiplying with the unit element, then we say the elements are associate, right? So it's just this is the relationship existing between two elements, then those two elements are known as associates. So I can give you example. So the simplest possible example of an integral domain which we always think is integers. So in the ring of integers, we know that 3, say for example, so 3 can be obtained from -3 by multiplying it with -1, and we know that -1 is a unit because we know that 1 and -1 are the only unit elements in ring of integers. So if an element can be obtained from other element by multiplying, this is multiplication, not a subtraction, can be obtained by multiplying in this way, then we can say the elements are associates. So 3 and -3 are associates, right? Because the one can be obtained from other by multiplying with the -1, and -1 is a unit. Similarly, 4 and -4, they are associates. So you can say in general n and -n, they are associates in the ring of integers. What about n and n? What about 4 and 4? So every element is by default an associate to itself, because every element can be obtained from itself by multiplying with a unity element, because unity is always unit. And since our underlying domain is an integral domain, so therefore it all definitely contains a unity element. So every element can be obtained from itself by multiplying with unity, and this unity element is always, we know, unit element. So this will be true for every integral domain. Every element is associate of itself, but here we are talking about two different elements when we say they are associate of each other, if this is happening. So similarly, you can create more examples for different integral domains and figure out how one can be obtained from other. I'm going towards the next definition. We will see where we will use the concept of irreducible in certain theorems and results. So let's define irreducible. Now you need to know, you if you remember the definition of irreducible polynomial. Yes, can anybody define in polynomial rings when we used to say that the given polynomial is an irreducible polynomial over that particular ring? Anybody remembers the definition? Yes. Does anybody remember the definition of irreducible polynomial?
fx पॉलिनोमियल को हम इरेड्यूसिबल कहेंगे। अगर उसको हम लिख सकते हैं fx gx और hx की प्रोडक्ट में, इस तरह से लिख सकते हैं कि इन दोनों में से एक पक्का यूनिट होगा
Yeah.
gx और hx की।
So that is correct definition. Thank you, Bhumika. So if you are able to write a polynomial as this, or if you try to factor a polynomial in two factors, then one of these gx and hx, either gx or hx is a unit polynomial in whatever be the underlying ring we are considering in the polynomial ring, then we say the polynomial fx is irreducible over R. So the definition of irreducible element is also similar. So you can say now what we are going to define is an irreducible element. जो हमने पहले किया था particularly, that was for polynomial rings. So now I'm going to give you the general definition. So, but this is, the definition is still the same. So first of all, if you remember, the polynomial has to be a non-zero polynomial and it also need to be a non-unit polynomial. So same is here, a non-zero, non-unit element A of D is the integral domain, right, is said to be irreducible if A is equal to BC for some B and C in D, then either B is unit or C is unit. So you can see the definition is similar. In fact, definition is exactly same. So we have a non-zero non-unit element. Whenever you will try to write it as a product of two other elements, like you will try to factorize it as the product of two other elements, then one of them has to be unit. Either B is unit or C is unit. So in that case, that element is said to be irreducible, right? So I'll be coming to the example of this element. I'll be coming to the example, but before that, let me give you the next definition. Prime, right? So let me give you the definition of this third kind of element. A non-zero, non-unit element of the integral domain D is said to be prime. So which element we have considered? A. If A divide BC implies A divides B or A divides C. So this is the definition of a prime element, right? That an element is said to be prime if whenever it is dividing a multiple of 2, whenever it is dividing B into C, then it has to be the divisor of at least one of them. A divides B or A divides C. So it's not difficult to remember the definition of a prime element, because this is actually what, how the prime numbers behave in integers, right? So we know that a prime number, so we already know if 3 divides say x into y, then we know that either 3 divides x or 3 divides y, because 3 is being a prime cannot be created by the product of two other primes. X is going to have its prime factorization, y is going to have its different prime factorization. So if 3 is coming in the prime factorization of x into y, that means 3 is there in the prime factorization of either x or either y. It is otherwise not possible. So this is a property which we know about prime numbers already. So the same definition is here for the prime element in general for any integral domain, that if an element satisfies this kind of property, then we say the element is prime. So now I'm going to give you the examples of this. So again, let's take the simplest example of the ring of integers. So in the ring of integers, we know this 3, 5, 7. These are prime. So these are already, we know they are prime numbers, but obviously these are satisfying this definition as I just explained you by this logic. So that means in Z, every prime number is prime. So it seems a very, vague statement that every prime number is prime, but here to call it every prime number, so we know the definition of a prime number. Is prime means this prime, so that means every prime number is going to satisfy this property, right? So whichever prime you take. And also every prime number is I'm sorry, irreducible in Z, because I did not give you an example of irreducible element. So in the ring of integers, the prime numbers are also irreducible. They are the examples of irreducible elements. Now, how they are irreducible? Because any prime, if you try to write it as a product of two other factors, say A into B, then we know that either A is 1 or B is 1, because we know that there exists no factorization of a prime number. 3 can be written like 3 into 1. There is no other way, right? 4 can be, sorry, 5 can be written like 5 into 1 if you talk about the unique factorization of them. So whenever you are trying to factor them, one of them has to be unit. So if one of them has to be unit, so obviously that is the definition of an irreducible element, that whenever you are trying to write any number as a product of two elements and one of them happens to be a unit element, that means that element is irreducible. So that means you cannot factorize the prime numbers. So this is something we already know. We are just now giving you the examples, because for the ring of integers, it is the simplest possible way to understand, right? So we got infinitely many examples of prime element and irreducible elements. So in the ring of integers, every prime number is prime as well as the irreducible element, right? Is there anyone who is not clear with this? I'll come to more examples, but this is the simplest possible example. Right. So one more result which we can say, or remark which we can draw from this example, that in the ring of integers, the prime elements are same as irreducible elements, right? So now let me give you a general result. So here I took an example of ring of integers, but now there is a general theorem which is going to tell us that this theorem says in an integral domain, every prime is irreducible. We are going to do proof of it. So this, for Z, this result is true. We have seen that. But this result is also true for a general integral domain. For any integral domain, this result is true, that if you take any prime element, then it has to be an irreducible. So let's do the very quick proof of it. So let A belongs to D, where D is an integral domain, and suppose A is prime. What do you want to show? That A is irreducible. So how will you show A is irreducible? So suppose that you can write A as B into C. So if you want to show A is irreducible, we must show either B or C is a unit, right? Now A is equal to B C implies A divides BC, because obviously A is equal to B into C implies A divides BC. Every number is a divisor of itself. They are exactly same. If I'm saying 3 is equal to 3, I can also say 3 divides 3. So this is means one and the same thing. Okay. So it implies A divides BC. But now since A is prime, because I have to use the information somewhere that the given element is a prime element. So since A is a prime element, it implies A divides B or A divides C, right? So, so if A divides B, then B can be written as A into T, okay? B can be written as A into T, and further you can substitute the value of A from equation number 1. A is actually B into C. This is from equation number 1. I have substituted the value of A is equal to BC. So B is equal to BCT. So this implies 1 is equal to CT. Why this is coming? Because of cancellation law. I can cancel it here because cancellation law holds in an integral domain. So I can use that property because the given domain is an integral domain. So I can cancel this. So they got cancelled. I got 1 is equal to C into T. T is any number. T is any, obviously, element of the integral domain. So if an element C on multiplication with another element T, if the product is turning out to be 1, it implies this element C is a unit element, because that is what the definition of unit element is, that if you are able to find another element such that upon product that result is 1, 1 is the unity, multiplicative unity of the integral domain, then that means C is unit. So that we have shown now that C is a unit. So if A divides B, then C is a unit. Similarly, you can say, show if A, because one of them is true or both of them can also be true. If A divides C, then you will be doing the similar calculation and you will be able to show B is a unit. So in either case, one of them has to be unit. So it implies the element A is irreducible.
मैम यहाँ से दोबारा समझा दो,
Sorry.
लास्ट स्टेप से दोबारा समझा दो.
Okay, this say C is unit. Is it clear up to here?
मैम यही वाला.
1 is equal to CT, समझ आ गया आपको?
यस मैम.
हाँ, तो if 1 is equal to CT, so clearly C is a unit element. Unit element क्या होता है कि अगर उस एलिमेंट को किसी दूसरे एलिमेंट से मल्टीप्लाई करके 1 आ रहा है, तो C is basically T inverse, right? So C unit element की ये definition होती है that if you are able to find another element such that product is 1, which is multiplicative unity, then the ये दोनों elements unit element होंगे. So it implies C is a unit element. तो आपने लिखा था A is equal to B into C और आ गया C is a unit element. तो हमने प्रूव कर दिया कि A is irreducible, because irreducible शो करने के लिए यही शो करना है that if you are able to write it as product of two factors and one of them happens to be a unit element, that means the element is irreducible. So that proves whatever we wanted to prove, that in an integral domain every prime element is an irreducible element. So which justifies the example which I gave you above, that in the ring of integers every prime element. Well, now what are prime elements in the ring of integers? The prime numbers only. So all the prime numbers are the irreducible elements, right? So if I ask you in ring of integers, is 7 irreducible? Yes, 7 is irreducible. 11 is irreducible. So every prime number in the ring of integers is irreducible. In fact, no other element will be irreducible because rest of the numbers will be composite numbers, or composite numbers हमें पता है. Suppose I give you this number, so you can obviously write it as a product of two other factors, and neither 4 nor 6 are unit elements in the ring of integers. So every composite number is going to be reducible. Means what you can say कि ये जो रिजल्ट प्रूव किया है ये हमने इंटीग्रल डोमेन के लिए प्रूव किया है, बट रिंग ऑफ इंटीजर्स में उसका कॉन्वर्स भी ट्रू है कि प्राइम एलिमेंट इरेड्यूसिबल है, तो अगर प्राइम नहीं है तो वो रिड्यूसिबल होगा. So I just hope that is clear with the example. So now I will be coming to another question. So the result which we have just proved is, let me rewrite that, in an integral domain every prime is irreducible. So you know this is the convention of studying, that whenever we prove any theorem or prove any result, the natural question which comes to our mind is, does the converse hold? So what is the converse of this statement? That is every irreducible element in an integral domain prime also? Prime implies irreducible हो गया, but does irreducible implies prime? So the answer is no. In the ring of integers, converse is true. इंटीजर्स में कॉन्वर्स ट्रू है बिकॉज इंटीजर्स में प्राइम ही इरेड्यूसिबल है, इरेड्यूसिबल ही प्राइम है. ओके, बट इन जनरल ये रिजल्ट ट्रू नहीं है फॉर एवरी इंटीग्रल डोमेन. सो फॉर दैट आई विल बी नाउ गिविंग यू द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ सच इंटीग्रल डोमेन जिसमें हमारे पास इरेड्यूसिबल एलिमेंट होंगे बट वो प्राइम नहीं होंगे. राइट, यहाँ तक क्लियर है सबको? यस, एनी डाउट अप टू दिस पॉइंट? Okay, so now I'm saying this is no. So now we need to prove this one. Prove this one means I need to give you an example of an irreducible element in an integral domain which is not prime. So before giving you this example, I am going to give you some result which we can use to check the irreducibility of elements in certain category of rings. And these kind of rings are very frequently appearing. So we need to know this result. It makes many questions easy because इसके बाद हम बहुत सारे examples करेंगे. So the easy way is there. There are some results which will help you to check the irreducibility. So that result I am going to tell you. So for these kind of rings, Z square root D. So what is how this Z square root D defined? A plus B square root D, where A, B both are integers. So what is D? D is not equals to 1 and D is not divisible by square of a prime. D is not equals to 1 and D is not divisible by square of a prime. So if this is going to happen, in that case, how we can check for these kind of rings, how we can check a given element is irreducible or not. So for that, we define a norm. Define norm. So this is denoted by N. So norm of an element A plus B root D is defined like square root, sorry, not square root, modulus of this. Better you write it like this, A square minus DB square whole the modulus of this. So if you are given any number, so like 1 plus 2 root 3, something like this. So this belongs to the element Z root 3. So you can compute the norm of 1 plus 2 root 3 is going to be 1 square minus what is D? D is your 3, 2 square. So this is 1 minus 12. So this is 11. Right? So modulus you have to take. So that is 11. So you can always compute norm. So whatever be the kind of element, the norm is always going to be a positive real number. So there are now properties which this norm satisfies. The first property is n of x is 0 if and only if x is 0. And the second property is n of xy is n of x into n of y for all xy. The third property is n of x is 1 if and only if x is a unit element, and the one which we are going to use is this, that if norm of n x is a prime, then x is irreducible in Z root D. So ये norm वैसे linear algebra में एक अलग function है. So it exists norm. You will study in norm the linear spaces and the vector spaces. This concept of norm is there. Where norm is defined to measure the magnitude or the distance of the point in space from the origin, right? How far you are from the origin. So it has a different geometrical significance, but here we are just going to use it to check the irreducibility and the prime thing. So you can verify very easily all of these properties, that if the number is zero, then its norm is zero. This property will be satisfied, the commutativity, or you can say the norm gets divided over the product, gets distributed over the product. And this is important, that if an element is having norm 1, then that means that element is a unit element, and that is an if and only result. And this is a property, that if norm of any number belonging to z root d turns out to be a prime number, then that element is irreducible. But point is, this converse of this fourth part is not true, right? That means if the norm is turning out to be composite, then also the element can be irreducible. But at least it is working one-sided, that if norm happens to be a prime number, then the element is irreducible. So I'll show you an example for the same. So in the example, say you take this z, sorry, z square root of minus 3. So if you take square root of minus 3, so d, I'm taking d to be minus 3. So in this ring, the element which I am considering is 1 plus square root minus 3. This element is irreducible. So how I'm proving it to be irreducible? So I'm going to use this property number 4. So I'm going to compute norm of this. So what is the norm of this? So norm is this, the formula of norm is a square minus db square modulus. So if you write this element to be a plus b root d type, then your a is 1, your b is 1, and your d is minus 3. So it is a minus a square minus db square modulus. So it's 1 minus minus 3, 1. So it is 1 plus 3, which is turning out to be 4. Yeah. So, okay, let me see. Okay, maybe this example, it was, okay, it was not for this particular example. We need to have a different example. Let me see whether we have computed this right. 1 plus square root minus 3. A square minus db square. Yeah. So here actually norm is not turning out to be prime. Although the element is irreducible, but it's not going to be shown by property number 3. So I will tell you how it is irreducible by some using some other property. Let me just use the definition of irreducibility. So let it be this and this. So if you are able to write this element as this, then taking norm on both sides. So if you take norm on both sides as a function, so it is norm of a plus b into norm of c plus d minus 3. So what is the norm of this? So it's a square minus 3b square. And what is the norm of this? This is going to be c square plus 3. Because of minus 3, it will be plus d square. And what is norm of this? This is equals to 4. So now 4 is equal to, because these numbers are positive, so I can write it like this. Right. So what are the possibilities for this a square plus 3b square and c square plus 3d square? The product is turning out to be 4. Right. So the product is turning out to be 4 means it can be 2 into 2. So what I suppose that I am able to write 1 plus square root minus 3 as a product of two elements where these both are non-units. I'll reach at a contradiction because I want to show it is irreducible. So I have supposed I am able to write it as a product of two non-units elements. So when I'm writing it like this, so since they are non-units, so the 4 is coming out to be this into this. So 4 जनरेट करने के लिए दो ही तरीके होते हैं, या 1 into 4 या 2 into 2. 1 into 4 नहीं हो सकता है because one of them is 1 means the element is a unit element, because the property of norm, the property number 3, tells you that if the norm is 1, then the element is a unit element. But since I have supposed both of them to be non-unit, so that means in दोनों में से किसी का भी norm 1 नहीं हो सकता है. So only possibility is 2 into 2. So 4 is 2 into 2. It implies a square plus 3b square is 2 and c square plus 3d square is 2. Yes, so tell me, is it possible? Can you find A, B, C, D which satisfy this? A, B, C, D are integers. Can you find a solution, integer solution of these equations? A square plus 3b square is 2 and c square plus 3d square is 2.
No.
This is not possible clearly, right? Because even if you take b is 0 or you take b is equal to 0, so a square is 2 is not possible being, because you are in integers. These a, b, c, d are integers. So there is no integer solution to these equations, howsoever you consider. So since this is not possible, so that means our supposition was wrong. What was our supposition? That 1 plus square root 1 plus square root minus 3 is irreducible. 1 second, I just need to connect my charger. Yeah, so this element is actually irreducible. Just give me 1 minute.
Just 1 second. Is this example clear to everyone? Yes, please ask if you have any doubts in this example.
मैम इसमें 9 मिनट्स पहले ही सपोज किया है.
हाँ तो वो कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन आ गई ना. यू गॉट अ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. आपने नॉन यूनिट सपोज किया तो कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन आ गई. तो दैट मीन्स आपकी जो सपोजिशन थी कि आप उसको फैक्टराइज कर सकते हो एज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू नॉन यूनिट्स, वो रॉन्ग हो गई. तो दैट मीन्स दिस एलिमेंट इज इररिड्यूसिबल. आपको दो तरीके हैं. आप ऐसे कर लो कि सपोज दोनों मतलब नॉन यूनिट मत अज्यूम करो, बट यहाँ पे आके जैसे ही आप ये वाले केसेस देखोगे तो ये वाले केस में कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन आ जाएगी. सो देन यू विल से दिस इज द ओनली पॉसिबिलिटी दैट 4 कैन बी रिटन एज 1 into 4, बिकॉज 2 into 2 वाला केस तो आपको कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन दे रहे हैं. सो सिंस 4 is 1 into 4, दैट मीन्स one of them is 1, one of them is 4. सो दोनों में से किसी का नॉर्म जो है 1 हो जाएगा. दैट मीन्स दोनों में से एक एलिमेंट क्या हो जाएगा? यूनिट एलिमेंट हो जाएगा. सो वहां से भी प्रूव हो जाएगा इररिड्यूसिबल. इट्स जस्ट अ वर्डिंग, इट्स जस्ट अ वे टू राइट. आप कैसे उसको प्रूव करना चाहते हो, right? So in this example I have shown you an element of a ring z square root minus 3, 1 plus square root minus 3. This is an irreducible element. Actually I wanted to show using property number 4, but property number 4 यहाँ पे implement नहीं हुई है, because property number 4 का converse actually true नहीं है कि अगर प्राइम नहीं आता है नॉर्म तब भी वो इररिड्यूसिबल हो सकता है. उसका खुद का नॉर्म 4 आया था, राइट? सो with that way I could not prove, but I just proved by the definition of irreducible element. Okay, so now I will show that this is not prime. So we have got an irreducible element in z square root minus 3, but 1 plus square root minus 3 is actually not prime. So what do you want to do to show it is not prime? So for that, if I want to show an element is not prime, so I need to have this kind, that it divides the product of two factors. So let me just show you. If you take 1 plus square root of minus 3 into 1 minus square root of minus 3, yes, what is the answer? You consider this.
4.
The answer is 4. Yeah, clearly very easy to do. You just use the formula, you'll get the 4. So the answer is turning out to be 4, and we know that again 4 is 2 into 2. So this clearly tells you that 1 plus square root of minus 3 divides 2 into 2, because 4 की factorization में 1 plus square root of minus 3 present है, means 1 plus square root of minus 3 जो है 4 का factor है, divisor है. So 4 को हम आगे कैसे लिख सकते हैं? 2 into 2, because मुझे उसको b into c इस फॉर्म में लिखना है. So that means this is happening, but 1 plus square root of minus 3 does not divide 2. तो बट वो 2 दो ही फैक्टर्स हैं, दोनों फैक्टर सेम है 2. सो अगर मैं ये शो कर दूं कि वो 2 को डिवाइड नहीं कर रहा है, 2 का फैक्टर नहीं है, सो प्रूव हो जाएगा कि ये प्राइम नहीं है. बिकॉज प्राइम प्रूव करने के लिए क्या प्रूव करना है कि इफ a डिवाइड bc देन इट शुड इंप्लाई आइदर a डिवाइड्स b और a डिवाइड c. b और c में से दोनों में से एक को तो वो डिवाइड करना ही चाहिए, बट यहाँ पे b और c दोनों मेरे सेम है, 2 into 2 है. आई एम सेइंग कि वो 2 को डिवाइड नहीं कर रहा है. अगर इतना प्रूव हो गया तो प्रूव हो जाएगा ये एलिमेंट प्राइम नहीं है. सो नाउ व्हाट विल आई डू टू शो दैट इट डज नॉट डिवाइड 2? सो इट डज नॉट डिवाइड 2 शो करने के लिए यू कैन सपोज ऑन द कॉन्ट्रेरी कि ये 2 को डिवाइड करता है. सो इन दैट केस 2 विल बी रिटन एज दिस इनटू सम अदर एलिमेंट. अगर वो 2 को डिवाइड करता है, सो दैट मीन्स देयर विल एग्जिस्ट सम a plus b square root of minus 3, so that on product with this factor the answer will turn out to be 2. Right? So now what is the calculation on the right hand side? You will get a minus 3b and other factor is going to be, yes, what is the coefficient of square root of minus 3? b and then a plus b square root of minus 3. It's the same way, they are multiplied same way the way you multiply the complex numbers. The real part gets multiplied with the real part, the complex part gets multiplied with the complex part. So you know, not like that, ac plus bd, ad plus bc. So that way you do the multiplication, you will get this. And 2 is basically 2 plus 0 square root of minus 3. I can write it like this. So on comparing both sides, you will get a minus 3b is 2, while a plus b is 0, because this part will be compared with this part and this part will be compared with this part. Now you tell me, is it possible? So a plus b is 0 means a is minus b. So you put a is minus b here. So minus b minus 3b is 2, which again gives you minus 4b is 2, which gives you b is equal to minus 1 by 2. Not possible because our a and b are integers, because our underlying ring is z square root minus d. So a b c d सारे integers होने चाहिए. So this is not possible. So that means yes, ये जो हमने suppose किया था कि 1 plus square root of minus 3 2 को divide कर रहा है, this supposition is wrong. It implies our element 1 plus square root of minus 3 is prime. So we have generated an example of irreducible element which is not prime. So this is what we were looking for. Example of an irreducible element in an integral domain which is not prime. So I have given you an example, and obviously this domain is integral domain. Every ring of this kind, z square root d, is an integral domain. You can check this, you can prove this anytime by just checking there are no zero divisors. और ये जो नॉर्म मैंने डिफाइन किया है, नॉर्म वाला कनेक्शन अभी हमने इस क्वेश्चन में यूज नहीं किया है. We have just directly shown by the definition of irreducible and the definition of prime element, right? So I can give you another example where we can show that So if you take this ring Z iota, and if you consider the element 1 minus iota, so if you take the norm of 1 minus iota, yes, what is the norm of 1 minus iota? What is the norm of 1 minus iota?
1, 2.
2. The norm is 2. Is it fine? How you compute the norm? The norm of a plus b square root d is a square minus d b square. So your a is 1, b is minus 1, and d is your d is actually your minus 1, because this is minus iota coming. So your d is minus 1. Tabhi wo square root of minus 1 will be iota. Your a is 1 and your b is minus 1. So if you put a, b, d minus 1 in this, you will get the norm is equal to 2. Now the norm is 2 means, and 2 is a prime number, everybody knows. So the norm is turning out to be a prime number. It implies 1 minus iota is irreducible in z iota. So आप इसकी definition से भी कर सकते हो, irreducible की definition से, the way we have done in the previous example, वैसे भी आ जाएगा. But ये वाली example में हम norm वाली property use करके कर रहे हैं, that you just compute the norm of it. अगर norm prime number आ गया, directly you can write that element is a irreducible element. Is that fine? So you see this property is very much useful and will be useful in many other examples also. But इसका converse true नहीं है, वो आपने previous example में देख ही लिया है कि ये 1 plus square root of minus 3 irreducible था, but इसका norm prime नहीं था. Norm कितना आ रहा था? 4. So use that property very carefully. So rest of the examples we will take next time in the next lecture. We'll continue with more examples of irreducibility and prime and more results over the same. Right, is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then, that's all for today. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.